For nearly 70 years, sculptor Pete Felten shaped Kansas limestone into works of art seen across the state. A large portion of his work is showcased in Hays, where Felten was born, raised, and where he died February 4th, 2026 at age 92. One of his early works is Buffalo Bill Cody. This was Felten's first large commission piece. The statue, completed in 1961, placed in front of Hays Public Library. There's the Lawman in front of City Hall at 15th and Main. It was one of Felten's favorites because Felten lived across the street from it, seeing the statue every day. The largest concentration of his work is in Ellis County, where about 30 sculptures stand, including pioneer students on the Fort Hays State University campus. And while many of his works are rooted in western Kansas, some stand at the very center of state history. 4 8-feet-tall, 1-ton statues of Dwight D. Eisenhower, Amelia Earhart, Arthur Capper, and William Allen White have stood in the Capitol since 1981.
So thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people have seen Pete Felten's work. They just weren't aware of who this person was, what it represents, how it was made, and what's the story behind it.
Back in 1979, Felten was commissioned $60,000 for those sculptures, yet he didn't even sign his name to them.
And in fact, Pete was never about getting acclaim or fame with anything he did. So believe it or not, it has only been since 2023, that there is a plaque acknowledging Pete as the artists of those 4 famous Kansans that have been standing in the portico since 1981. And so it was wonderful that that finally happened.
But when I was carving those, people come up and tell me stories about him.
Mater was a friend and fan of Felten's. She interviewed him for Smoky Hills Public Television in 1993. In that interview, Felten spoke of his longtime fondness for Amelia Earhart.
I was ready. I wanted to do a statue of Amelia Earhart. I'd done models of her for several years, and so this is my chance, even if I had to do 3 guys too, you know. And so when I got the contest, it took about 2 years to carve those, and a year just getting the contest and visiting the places and making the models. So it was a 3-year project altogether.
It took heavy lifting cranes to hoist each 2-ton statue into the Capitol. Great care was taken not to damage the corridors. When the 4 statues were in place, then 48-year-old Felten posed with several artist friends who helped get the statues in place. Now, public art often becomes part of the landscape. People pass it every day, sometimes without ever knowing the artist behind it. His works are both big and small. By weight and size, the grandest was Felten's carving of the Monarch of the Plains sculpture. This buffalo monument is located at Old Fort Hays. It's 8 feet high, 10 feet in length. Felten carved it on site from a 24-ton block of Indiana limestone to honor American bison, Plains Indians, and local history. Felten started this 2 years in advance of the City of Hays centennial of 1967. Felten said this work was all his idea.
I said, what this town needs for the centennial is a big statue of a buffalo. And it was very difficult to do because I'd never carved anything that large, and I didn't know how long it would take. And we had trouble getting the stone up there.
Felten started sculpting in 1957 after serving 4 years in the Navy. He took classes at Fort Hays State, including an art class. This Abraham Lincoln portrait was his first work. He knew immediately sculpting was to be his life vocation. He left school and pursued his passion. His body of work grew over the years, especially in northwest Kansas.
Around here, every community, almost every community had a Pete Felten. That was one of the, now there, I talk to people from other towns and say, damn, we should have got a Pete Felten, you know, sort of thing. So it was well known enough in this region that everybody wanted one.
But there are school mascots all over this part of the state, from Syracuse, Kansas, to Garden City, Kansas, to a big horse up at Stockton, to things further east.
And though Felten worked with other materials, he always returned to limestone, his true canvas. In fact, Felten would say he saw himself in it.
Limestone is of Kansas. Limestone is ordinary. Limestone isn't, sparkly and bells and whistles. He said it's understated, it's plain, and temperamentally, I'm limestone. Ordinary, here, plain, workable.
So it was native to his place where he grew up. And the place is, he didn't need to have it fancy, but he was always curious.
He may not have been known as well beyond this region, but he still had a faithful following. Those fans and friends turned out to pay tribute and share their Felten stories at the Ellis County Historical Society. There, many of his smaller works were displayed on tables for people to see and appreciate. Just steps away is Felten's art studio and gallery, which still feels alive. Inside, visitors could view in amazement how the artist utilized material scraps to piece together mosaic tile walls and backsplashes, and thereby turning the studio's bathroom into an artwork.
So when he found any of these tiles, anywhere, at garage sales or, he would piece them together, and it just started because he was interested.
Just a month before his passing, Felten received one of the state's highest honors, the 2026 Governor's Arts Legacy Award. Felten was too ill to attend. Close friend Bruce Burkholder received the award on Felten's behalf.
He told me many times, he said, every day of my life I've done exactly what I wanted to do.
Friends say Felten never had a job, as we think of it. They say he made just enough money on his commissions to support himself and his art.
Till the last day he was alive, he was reading and researching.
Pete, friends say, was truly about the craft.
Those of us that knew him, the legacy of what a great man he was and how he supported the arts, that could be forgotten. That's what we want to keep up, and we want to document that. But his legacy, even if this didn't exist, from Topeka to Atwood, Pete Felten's name on those sculptures is going to last a long, long time.
The artist is gone, but in towns across Kansas, his work remains, quietly telling his story in stone. This is Chris Frank for Positively Kansas.